Imagine this for a moment. You're running. Could be a slow jog or a fast sprint. But we all know, no matter the pace, sooner or later you're going to get tired. Now picture a ferocious dog chasing after you. Suddenly that tiredness doesn't hold you back. You find yourself running faster, pushing harder, going longer than you thought possible. That's the power of a strong why. But let's change the scene. Imagine you're running a race because there's someone you want to impress. Maybe a girl, maybe a guy who caught your eye. That motivation drives you to cross the line first. Now, one more scene. Imagine you've been running every other day for the last decade. Not for fear, not to impress anyone, but because you want to be around for longer. For your kids, the kids who might one day come, or even your grandkids. The motivation isn't about quick bursts of energy. It's about steady, enduring commitment. These three scenarios, survival, approval, and legacy, are all different kinds of why. And today, as we dive into the topic of why matters, I want you to hold these in your mind, because the reasons behind what we do, those reasons are everything. The reason why we do things is important, just like in these scenarios. The why determines our motivation. It drives us to new levels we might not otherwise achieve. Short-term whys, like the ferocious dog or fear, will often move us to new extremes, but they're not likely to be long-lasting. On the other hand, long-term whys drive consistency even when there are obstacles and challenges along the way. I encourage you to challenge yourself. Start understanding why you're doing what you're doing. Have you stopped to think? Why do I want this car? Why do I want this house? Why am I spending 35 hours a week on social media? Whether we realize it or not, myself included, we're consistently driven to doing things that oftentimes are a waste of precious time. Because of this, we need to start today to understand why we do what we do. This begins a process to measure how much time we spend being productive and how much time we're wasting away without barely noticing. Don't sit on this challenge. In fact, please comment. I'd like to hear about what you're doing and why. And did you realize a waste of time? Or are you tackling a new challenge? Or relentlessly going after your future? Those are all great things to hear about, so please comment below. So now that we start to understand why the why matters, let's talk about how to find your why. For me, one of the best ways to discover my why is by asking questions. Simple, honest questions of myself. Why do I want to do this? What truly matters to me? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Sometimes writing these down or journaling helps make things clear. It also helps bring thoughts and feelings out of fog and onto paper, something that you can look back to. Another way to find your why is to look back on moments when you felt the most fulfilled or proud. When did you feel truly alive or purposeful? Those moments often hold cues to your core motivations. Your why is often connected to your core values. What do you believe in deeply? Is it family, faith, honesty, service, or something else? When your actions align with those values, your why shines bright and guides you forward. Thinking about the kind of impact you want to leave behind, the legacy you want, can help you see your why more clearly too. Whether it's for your family, your community, or something bigger, that purpose can become your guiding star. And for us who walk in faith, prayer, meditation, and scripture study are powerful ways to seek God's direction. Asking God to reveal your purpose is an essential part of finding your why. Because when God reveals your why, it becomes your source of strength and hope, no matter the challenges ahead. So to bring this back to Scripture, two questions I'm sure many of us have asked before. Why did God create humans? And why did Jesus Christ sacrifice himself for us? These were God's whys, and Jesus' whys. The reason why I ask these questions is this. If God didn't have a strong why, if Jesus didn't have a strong why, I don't believe we'd be here today. To my first question, I believe God created us for several reasons, but especially for a relationship. In Genesis 2:19 through 20, God brought the animals to Adam to name them, showing a collaborative relationship where Adam is given authority and participation in creation. God didn't just create us like animals. He gave us dominion. He gave us a noble cause. He gave us power and free will. God created us similarly for the reasons we create, why we want children. Why does this matter? God didn't need to care for Adam and Eve after they ate from the apple, but God remembered why he created us. Genesis 6:6 states, "The Lord regretted that he had made human beings on the earth, and his heart was deeply troubled." But again, in a sense, Noah reminded him why he created us. Because Noah showed God humans can be righteous. God already knew at this point he would give his only begotten son to be sacrificed for all of humanity. He's the beginning and the end. You won't go to your limits unless you truly know your why. As to my second question, why did Jesus sacrifice himself for us? Certainly the majority of the reason he did it was because God asked him to. John 10:17 through 18. The Father's role was sending the Son for his purpose, while the Son willingly accepted the task to redeem sinners. John 3:16, Hebrews 9:12. So Jesus didn't have to save us. He chose to. He was tempted. Jesus resisted each temptation by quoting Scripture and ultimately rejecting Satan's offer. Matthew 4:1 through 11. In Luke 22:44 it says, "And being in agony, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat was like drops of blood falling to the ground." But regardless, Jesus knew why he was who he was, and why he had to be sacrificed. We are the why. Jesus died for us. We all deserve to die, but Jesus said, "Take me instead." So I'll leave you with this. This is today, our future podcast. Today, ask yourself why. Write it down, type it out, talk with your closest friends and family. Comment below. Why am I in my current situation? Why am I working at this job? Why am I going to this church? Or why am I not going to church? And start to understand what that means for your future. Ask yourself what your future currently looks like and ask why. If you're interested in changing it, then subscribe and like our podcast. Next time, we'll start tackling the concept of value. And until then, God bless.